That's right. The feds finally wrapped up the Kilpatrick Civic Fund chapter of this trial today, and they did that by bringing in a new IRS agent who kind of rehabbed part of their case by poking holes in some of the suggestions the defense has been making during cross-examination.
Detroit's former mayor is accused of fraudulently using his Kilpatrick Civic Fund for personal expenses, including spending more than $1,000 from the nonprofit to pay for a romantic getaway in Vail, Colorado. Last week, federal prosecutors showed the jury hotel bills from the Sun and Alp Resort for a 2002 trip they said Kwame Kilpatrick took with his former chief of staff and lover, Christine Beatty. The former mayor, his father Bernard Kilpatrick, his longtime friend Bobby Ferguson, and ex-Detroit Water Department Chief Victor Mercado are all on trial accused of running a criminal enterprise out of City Hall. During cross-examination at the time, Kilpatrick attorney Jim Thomas questioned IRS agent Ron Sauer about whether or not he knew the National Conference of Mayors meeting had been held that same weekend in November of 2002, suggesting the feds did not research what kind of work Kilpatrick may have done on that trip. That prompted the feds to send new subpoenas. Today, another IRS agent took the witness stand to tell the jury there is no such thing as the National Conference of Mayors and that schedules from other mayoral organizations showed there were no meetings in Colorado that weekend.
Were you fundraising for the Civic Fund in New Orleans?
Also today, that IRS agent revisited records from a trip to New Orleans that the feds allege Bernard Kilpatrick took during the 2002 Super Bowl. Last week, his attorney, John Shea, questioned whether they ever confirmed that he took the trip, even though a Civic Fund check was used to purchase plane tickets. Today, the IRS agent showed the jury Bernard's credit card statements showing purchases at restaurants and jewelry stores in New Orleans. Former federal prosecutor Peter Henning says the assistant U.S. attorneys have been using all of these little Civic Fund details to set the jury up for the next chapter of the case.
So I think what the government wants to do is to show that the misuse started small and then became much more significant to try to build their extortion and bribery case.
So what is the next chapter of the case? I'll have more on that coming up on 7 Action News at 6, and I'll have more details about some of the other things Civic Fund money was allegedly spent on. Joanne and Glenda.